Welcome to Parenting Your Sensitive Child. Parenting a highly sensitive child can feel overwhelming, and all the parenting books in the world can only get you so far if your head and your heart are out of alignment with your child's. I'm your host, Julia McGarry. Let's create a new parenting paradigm. Hey y'all, I'm thinking this is going to be a quick episode, but I hope you know by now that quick doesn't mean unimportant. It just means that there's a core message that I want to be sure to communicate to all of you, and it doesn't need massive amounts of explanation or action steps. The message itself is enough to spark a change in thinking. So, a couple weeks ago, I saw an Instagram post from Christy Forbes. And Christy is an autistic advocate and educator with a wealth of knowledge about PDA profile. Anyway, Christy's post was talking about this idea that we need to get our partner, our co-parent, on our team. This is something that many parents of neurodiverse kids struggle with. On the one hand, you have your relationship with your child, and you have all the strategies that you've tried and that haven't worked. On the other hand, you have a sense of loyalty to your partner and a desire to work together and be on the same page. You know that it's going to be less confusing for your child if you're both coming from the same place. But your partner has their own opinions, and they deserve to, don't they? They are just as much of a parent as you. This leads to a lot of inner turmoil and a lot of conflict between partners or co-parents. And meanwhile, the child you're trying to help is still struggling. Well, Christy reframed this whole predicament in her post by offering that we need to set down the idea of getting our co-parent on our team and instead focus on getting on our child's team. If we put ourselves on our child's team above all else, we put ourselves in the position to really listen to what they're telling us, what their behavior is telling us, what their emotions are telling us, and start to advocate for them. They need us in their corner. And ultimately, we're going to be more successful if we are working for them than we are trying to compromise or find a solution that works for both ourselves and our partner. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about just like run-of-the-mill conflict with your partner situations. I'm not saying side with your child over your partner every time, but if your child is really struggling and they need help, focus on helping your child. Okay? This isn't standard advice, but it's important. And as a parent coach, I want to be sure that you know that I do not expect you to bring your partner with you. This isn't the norm across the industry, right? If they are wanting to learn to make changes, by all means, include them. But if they are fighting you every step of the way, come on your own. We'll work together to help you feel confident and secure in your connection with your child so that you can show up on their team, even if that means you're changing your approach with your co-parent. Okay? Now, one other thing that Christy mentioned was that PDA doesn't occur in a vacuum. I'm going to add that neurodiversity in general, including being highly sensitive, doesn't occur in a vacuum. It comes from somewhere. If you are parenting a child who is strong-willed and resistant to change, and your co-parent is strong-willed and resistant to change, it's probably not a coincidence. This means that it's likely there's more going on for them than just being stuck in their ways, than them just being stubborn, right? They may share neurological similarities with your child and be carrying a lifetime of baggage and possible trauma from having those neurological differences misidentified as character flaws. Understanding this can help relieve some of the frustration you might feel and help boost your compassion for your partner. It can also help you step away from the conflict that is created when you try to convince them, show them, help them, or in any other way persuade them that what they are doing needs to change. And when you pair that with putting yourself on your child's team, you may find that it's easier to draw boundaries, clear boundaries, clean boundaries around what is acceptable treatment of your child. It may not be without conflict, but it's a different sort of conflict than you get when you're trying to convince them that they need to parent differently. And it feels different to your child too. They see you taking a stand for how they're treated, for what they need, right? Okay, I hope this was helpful. Go check out Christy Forbes on Instagram, especially if you think your highly sensitive child might also be PDA profile autistic. And if this episode spoke to you, if you feel like you've been fighting an uphill battle trying to get your partner on board, I want to offer you a soft space to land. Reach out. Send me an email at partneredpathparenting@gmail.com, and let's talk about what coaching together could mean for you. Do you feel like you're parenting 24/7 and you're still not sure your child is getting what they need? Are you ready to stop parenting reactively and start living in partnership with your sensitive child? Are you ready to reclaim time for yourself and time for your dreams? Then you're going to want to explore coaching with me. I help my clients tune out all the noise, better understand their kids, build a parenting strategy that meets their family's specific needs, and do the mindset work necessary to implement that strategy consistently without sacrificing themselves in the process. To get started, just head over to partneredpath.com, click on coaching, and get your free consultation set up. Let's get to know each other.